try to get to the Beit Midrash 3 times a week. I learn Masechet Kiddushin with Elad on Tuesday nights, Ketuvot with Rav Elad, and we're working our way through Baba MiTzion, Rob Berkowitz and I. I think Limud Torah is the most important thing, or one of the most important things. I think setting aside a time, Timla Torah is important, because if you don't, you just don't get there. When you're young, you have whatever you're doing, and when you get older and you have family, you have other things you're doing. So I think you have to have a kavua time. I think without that, it just doesn't work. I've always believed that when children see a father going out to a shiur, I think that gives a tremendous limud, a tremendous impression and example to children. I think it's about prioritizing what you do.
I come to Beit Midrash approximately twice a week. I've just started learning with Roy, the Hesed way, and we're learning The Lonely Man of Faith by Rav Soloveitchik. I've been part of the Beit Midrash. It really helps with going to uni. It's very difficult because there are a lot of temptations there and things like that. And by going to the Beit Midrash, it kind of strengthens your belief in Judaism, and you feel like, yes, this is what I want to do. And you come here and university is completely out of your mind, and you pick up a book and you get excited by what you're learning. And by having the learning here, it kind of reiterates why I want to be a Jew and why I want to be religious. And it strengthens me to be proud to be walking around in university and still learn, obviously, some of the not general study subjects, but still know that I'm still doing my part of being part of Judaism.
Our son Asher comes to the Beit Midrash to learn twice a week. His school offers an after-school learning program, but we preferred Kollel MiTzion because we like the atmosphere here. We like that when he comes to learn in the afternoons, that there are other children his age, there are teenage boys, there are adult males, and the Rosh Kollels in the room, and my son is learning in that atmosphere. It's very different than a classroom atmosphere. We wanted to give him the message that Torah learning is something that you have to schedule into your week. It's not just an extension of your school day, it's something you plan for and you put into your week. Kollel MiTzion is the only place that our children can learn in Ivrit. It's definitely an advantage to learning this material in its native language.
Dilemma Shiur takes place Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. in the Beit Oreh. We present the secular perspective, and then Rav Elad presents the halachic perspective, and they just meet. They're together, and that makes it interesting. And you can even bring it into your everyday practice. I'm a lawyer. You learn from those things, and I think that's makes it really interesting.
I go to Monday night shiur with Odelia at Yedida Lewis's house, and I also go to Rav Elad's shiur on Hilchot Shabbat every Tuesday night. I think that we're never too young or too old to learn and enrich our knowledge. I think it's very important. And as a mother, I like to set an example to my children that I'm learning and they can learn. And in fact, at the moment, two of my children are learning Hilchot Shabbat, and we have very lively discussions around our Shabbat table regarding what each of us has learned in the Shabbat shiur.
I think people should look on at shiur as a chore. It is something that is part of us. It's part of Judaism. We learn about our heritage. We learn about everyday living. We learn about morals, and that's extremely important. It's besides the fact that we're Jewish and we should learn about our heritage and our background, it also is a benefit to us. It's a benefit to anyone who would come.
Every Tuesday, we come to the Beit Midrash with our Gemara class, the year 9s, my year, we start at Wednesday morning, period 2. We walk in, then we start the program, normally watch a couple of videos, and then we split up into groups with one of the Bacharim, and then we discuss the topic of the day or the lesson.
We had a few discussions about Israel and its history and the anti-Semitism that has come from that's gone from stages.
I like that discussion. I think a lot of kids were quite engaged in that.
It's not like we're sitting in a classroom and we're just like staring at the teacher who's writing things on a board. We're sitting around in a circle and it's more relaxed and we feel more like comfortable with each other.
And it's also good for kids who don't go to B'nai Akiva, who don't have this normal education, that like if they're outside of school, they can learn a lot about Israel and the Torah and Judaism as a whole.
Like we all get really into the discussions and it's really nice.
The lesson about Simcha was quite interesting. The Hesder boys showed us a couple of clips of what could be Simcha and happiness, and it was good to see the Jewish perspective of what happiness is, and so we can go out and telling other people and the way to live. The Hesder boys normally show videos or TV shows that I enjoy. And I think for others who, even if they don't know the movie or TV show, it's good to them to see that even in in the secular world, there are still messages behind things that we see every day.
It definitely adds to me personally because I'm a Jew and we talk about these things day to day, and with my connection to Israel, and it strengthens it, and we learn different things. So yeah.
Advanced Gemara class is very stress-free. It's a quite relaxed atmosphere, a lot of learning where we don't have the pressure of exams to work hard. We work hard because we want to rather than we have to. In Advanced Gemara it's all about learning Torah and learning how to be like a proper Jew, how to think properly.
So the Hesder boys did something on judgment, and I think that they handed out to all the kids as if you're the prosecutor, you're the defense attorney. They gave the particulars about the case, so I believe that the Hesder boys had them in about half a minute. They presented it. They had literally, so that all the kids were engaged. The kids were actually arguing the points to each other, which was fabulous. And the reason it made such a big impression on me was when the bell rang, the kids were still sitting there fighting out their points.
The Hesder boys do bring something very special to the school with their past learning in Israel, and we don't really have people like that here.
The Hesder boys are closer in age and there isn't that big gap, and the Hesder boys, they put on programs that a bit more fun, so it's a bit closer to us and we can engage in it more.
Back from NTA, I wanted a place to learn. Beit Midrash has got, it's a good way to come back. You don't feel like you're alone when you get back from Israel. There's still a place you can learn, still be Jewish. It's not embarrassing to be Jewish. People like Jews at Beit Midrash. I'm learning Tanya and I'm learning Gemara. It's an atmosphere that the girls in Beit Midrash can learn anything they want, and there's no restrictions on any Jewish books, whatever you want to learn. I don't think that there's any Beit Midrash that's as welcoming to women as the Mizrahi Beit Midrash. It doesn't feel like there's necessarily any segregation between it being a man's Beit Midrash or a girl's Beit Midrash or whatever. Anyone can learn whatever they want. I don't really think that it's a good excuse to say that you don't have time or you can't, if you can be bothered going to uni every day and listening to lectures, then you definitely have time to learn something interesting as well, like Jewish learning.
we really see the relevance of halacha today, the synergies with the secular.
I think there's something unique and special to learn Torah, dafka MiTzion, in a framework of Torah MiTzion. I think this is the jewel of Mizrahi.
We learn a lot of things that I don't know generally, and things that teachers don't teach you.
It's just kind of exciting to put the university thoughts aside and be part of something that's very exciting, something that's kind of new to me. I haven't really learned so much before, so to see these kind of things, it's very exciting.
I think it's very important for us to make time to learn. I think every person in a busy schedule, we always have to make time.
I think for the younger generation of Mizrahi, it's a crucial thing because what they see is really a tremendous dugma ishi.
Sometimes when I think, oh, I've got a chivrutah, it might make me roll my eyes, but then when I go and I learn, I enjoy it. I remember every time that I'm learning why I enjoy it.
Im ein Torah, ein derech eretz. Im ein derech eretz, ein Torah. When we combine the values with which we raise our children at home and the atmosphere in the Kollel Torah MiTzion, we really can achieve that.